We're now going to bring in a special guest. We got to join DeRoy Murdoch, Pat Caddell, the one and only, as I think the New York Times profile said, from Stephen K. Bannon, the voice of the Trump movement, one and only Sean Hannity.
Yeah, I like the picture. Didn't you like that? You know, I'm on Sirius XM. I'm on the Patriot. Hey, it's great, Mr. Caddell. This is like the basket of deplorables right here.
Yeah.
That was like the best line in the whole piece, 8,000 words. It was Stephen K. Bannon. You're right.
I hit my marks, brother.
By the way, I only like the fact that you and I dress alike, because we're the only ones that don't. Right?
Like twins.
Of course, you're fully cut. I hate to say it, you just copied this thing, but that's I don't want to say.
Oh, I copied it from you. I've been wearing black my whole life. Seriously?
They look like twins. For those
you're
who
so
can't see.
no.
By the way, we're never going to match this guy.
No, this guy, this Sartorial. No, what do you mean twins? You look like a son of mine.
Well, I literally do serious martial arts an hour and a half every day, 5 days a week. Hardcore martial arts.
We got Sean Hannity for our first show. Let me ask you, we're going to get down to it. President Trump, let's talk about the nullification project. President Trump ran and came from behind, as you know, both in the primaries where he started. He was in 7th place and he won a come-from-behind victory, unheralded, in American history.
And Bossie and Lewandowski's book,
yes,
it's a really good history of it.
This is our launch party tonight for Let Trump Be Trump, the inside story, the rise of the presidency. Our two guests of honor, by the way, were here before they left to go over to Hannity.
No,
they traded up. I know. They had a better deal. They traded up with a better deal.
Dr. Loudon?
Dr. Loudon was our first guest.
Really?
By the way, our first,
of course, I'm always following her.
Our first guest.
How are you? Good to see you.
We're trying to get her up to the speed on talk radio. She still thinks she's in TV land. Here's the question. Yeah. The nullification project that started on the morning of November 9th of 2016. Walk through your perspective of where we stand. How vicious is it? How's it going to stop?
I think the only way to stop it is all of us and all of the people that mobilized in 2016 to get back organized, fighting every day. Look, Steve, I did an 18-minute monologue tonight on just how corrupt every single person from Mueller to Rosenstein. You have an FBI director.
It's unbelievable.
James Comey. Then you have this, they exonerate without any investigation, totally, completely exonerate. We now know Hillary Clinton. And yet they go after Donald Trump day in and day out. What they did to General Flynn is disgusting. What they're doing every day with the deep state leaking.
When you say deep state,
is a constitutional crisis.
When you say deep state, are you leaving the yard here? You've always been a pretty rational guy. I know you're Irishman. But when you say deep state, people say, hey, Hannity, come on, man. What are you talking about? What do you mean deep state?
What I mean are those people within the government, a sort of shadow government within a government, that have been leaking. Look at the case of General Flynn. He was surveilled. He was unmasked. They leaked raw intelligence, and they destroyed this man's life. Nobody has found out who leaked that intelligence. In the first 150 days of the Trump administration, there were 150 leaks, including prime minister conversations with the President of the United States, other presidents' conversations with the President of the United States. This is unprecedented. And when you look at the relationship between all of these people, from Comey was writing Hillary's exoneration before he investigated Hillary Clinton. So now based on what we now know, that has to all be reopened. What I said tonight, either we're going to be a banana republic or we're going to have equal justice under the law, or we're going to, Mark Levin calls it a post-constitutional America. Yeah. It is that serious.
One comment I'd like to say, one word for you people about the FBI, Stasi. An American version of the way Stasi used to operate in East Germany.
What the point you're making is that if we don't stop this nullification project on Trump, it's going to happen election after election after election. The conservatives will do it when a Democrat gets in. This thing's got to be put to bed. You might not like the guy. You might not agree with the guy. And by the way, this is half of the Republican Party, right? The establishment. You might not. But, hey, he's the legitimate president of the United States. And if
what we've now done is criminalize political differences. Rush had a great line. I actually played it on TV tonight. This is a silent coup that started, as you say, the nullification process on November the 9th. It's not stopped. How is it possible that a UN ambassador, Samantha Powers, is unmasking a person a day? How is it possible that we have a Constitution that gives us Fourth Amendment protections against unreasonable search and seizure? how is it possible, and I'll use General Flynn again, he is doing his job, he is reaching out to his counterpart, it is after the election, it is a responsible thing to do, and okay, the NSA, our surveillance technology is superior in the entire world, but instead of minimizing the conversation, instead of keeping his identity a secret, they reveal it, and then they leak the raw intel and literally put him in an environment where they knew the full conversation without telling him. And if he misremembers one thing, quote, we're going to call that
a lie.
A lie.
Right. And give him a year in prison.
God help us if that happens.
And you know what's interesting? The flip side, Sean, of everything you're talking about, where these people are doing their jobs. Flynn is literally engaging in diplomacy after the election, and of course his life has been ruined. Meanwhile, you've got Hillary Clinton turning over 20% of our uranium supply to the Kremlin in exchange for $145 million in bribes to the Clinton Foundation. And the response among the intelligentsia here is, oh, let's not criticize her lifestyle choices. How dare you?
But here's the question I've got. We control, the Republicans and conservatives control the Senate and the House of Representatives. Why are there no investigations? Why? Let's leave Sessions and the Justice Department aside. Why are there no hearings?
Okay, I'll give you the answer.
What is the problem with this party that they can't sit there and answer the questions? You know, every day on talk radio on Sirius XM that you get on your show, Steve, all the feedback you get, we get on Breitbart. Why are they not doing it?
Steve Bannon, we learned something this year, and that is there were 100 House Republicans that voted 65 times to repeal and replace Obamacare. They never had any intention of doing it. Now, in spite of that, we got a bill passed. They never talked about health savings accounts, cooperatives, big ideas that we thought they believed in. And then you got the Senate, 7 senators, same exact thing. Here's my view on the Republican Party. It is a dead party. They are morally corrupt. They are weak. They're weak. I say it every day. Is this surprising? They are weak. They are ineffective. They're visionless, and they have no identity. Donald Trump, you and I debate superfluous issues because you want a higher tax rate on the wealthy. I don't. You consider yourself a national populist. I consider myself a Reagan conservative. I will sit here and argue all night with you that Donald Trump is a Reagan conservative, from Gorsuch to borders to tax cuts to justices.
That's what DeRoy just said.
That's what my view.
Yeah,
Reagan conservative.
Exactly.
But our differences.
You're right.
But no. Our differences don't mean it's just a label. But I do believe I've never changed. I do believe the Republican Party left me. And I feel it is heartbreaking to me because so many people trusted them in 2010, 2014, give us the House, give us the Senate. Then they get the White House, and then they turn on a man that's advocating the same principles that they have been quoting for years on the campaign trail, the great Ronald Reagan. It is total and complete bullshit, which I can say on Sirius XM.
Our board's lit up right now. Here's the question I got: What do the Paul Ryans and the Mitch McConnells and the donor class and the consultants don't get? Do you believe when you on Sirius XM, your radio show every day, here on the daily show and now on the nightly show, we hear the anger, we hear the disappointment, we hear the people who said, "Hey, we got him the House, we got him the Senate, we won the presidency," and yet they still don't take action. Do they understand that this is building up and building up and building up?
I think this is going to crescendo. You know, it's funny. I called you the day you left the White House. And do you remember what you first said to me? Oh, my God. Are you kidding? I'm free as a bird. And I'm like, okay, you're not upset at all? Nope. I go, I can do more on the outside than I can do on the inside. All I can say is this. This is almost unprecedented in terms of the people that voted for this president. This never happened. I'm in my 23rd year, Steve, on Fox. I'm shocked I'm still there. I'm 30 years on the radio. This was the most engaged election in my lifetime. And the ratings this year are higher than last year.
Right.
Every year, the year after the election,
dropped like a 30%. You're at 30%. You're at 4 million viewers a night. It's unreal.
But it's not.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because I'm fighting for the agenda.
Can I just say that word? Would you say it again, Sean? It's called fighting.
Fighting.
The Republican Party is the biggest bunch of pussies. I'm sorry to say.
Okay, we're on serious.
We're
going to get the hook out of our first show.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, they're
scared.
pussycat.
Very, very scared.
They're terrified.
Can I just say something?
They don't fight. They do not learn from Democrats.
I'm a dishwasher. I'm a cook. I'm a busboy, waiter, bartender. I'm a constructor. I hung wallpaper. I laid tile. I built houses. I did roofing. This is 2 decades of my life. And I'm sorry, those people in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, they've been screwed by the political class.
Yes.
See, you got me worked up. I just did this for an hour.
No. I love this. I love that. You're the best guest.
Because I care about, I am the forgotten man. You know, I actually bought the painting. I can't give it to Trump till he leaves office after 8 years. John McNaughton is a painter.
Sure, I love that guy.
Okay, look at his painting, The Forgotten Man. I kept saying that's what this election is about. Yes. Look, I don't care what you call it, Steve Bannon, but if we can get those people jobs and we can get them, how many times during the election year? 50 million Americans on food stamps, 50 million in poverty, 13 million more under Obama, 8 million under Obama. We doubled the national debt. The worst recovery since the 40s, lowest labor participation, lowest home ownership
rate. With
rate.
this nullification project, and we see it coming every day, what does the President of the United States have to do?
Stay with the people. Fight for the people. Fight for those people. Because one thing I can tell you, as somebody, I deal with this 4 hours a day, every day. I live, eat, breathe, sleep. I sleep maybe 3-4 hours a day. I don't sleep. I don't want to sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. But if every speech he gives is the same speech that he gave in the campaign, that in and of itself is refreshing. That means he is committed to the agenda. You know, all those people during the election that were arguing with me, oh, he's a New York liberal. I said, no, he's not. I'm telling you, he was smart. He played the game in a liberal city so he could build buildings and put people to work.
Why does this establishment, and you live here, I know you're not of here, although you're Long Island guy. No. But of this meeting, why did they hate him to his core?
I'll tell you why. Nobody saw this coming. There were a few of us. If you got it, it's fascinating. I actually played one of my favorite clips is before Donald Trump announced, after he announced, and on election night, state after state after state being called Donald Trump. You see the look on the faces universally. Here's a funny story. On election
in the
night,
Fox newsroom, I might add.
Okay,
yes.
I called
the beloved Megyn Kelly.
Okay, I called in that night. I didn't realize I ranted for 12 straight minutes about the forgotten man and woman, and I was the only one. First, Bill Shine goes, "Get to your home studio now," and I'm like, I've had 4 beers. I said, and I have makeup on. Call in now. I call in. And I was like, this is what happened. And all you had to do during the campaign was open your eyes. In retrospect, nobody was going to beat Obama, at least in 2008. I think Romney had a better shot. He blew it in debates 2 and 3.
Yep.
But this election, the crowds, the people, the enthusiasm lock her up. You know what? Donald Trump made one mistake. I'll tell you what it was. He got into office. And Donald Trump said, oh, I don't want to be like that. And look at what the Clintons are doing. Let's be nice.
Let's be nice.
You know what? And to his credit, he meant it. He thought, all right, I won, you lost. No. Now they have done everything they can do. Let me be clear. They want to destroy this president. They want to stop this agenda. They do not. All these people that say they care about minorities and poor people and this identity political group and that identity political group, they are full of crap, because this is the single greatest historic moment. This is a moment in a generation that we could fix this country, get those people back to work, out of poverty, off of food stamps, buying homes, becoming energy independent, securing our border, and making this a better
Before
country.
we go to break and let you go, I got a question.
Yeah.
What these elites don't get Trump and they don't get this movement.
By the way, they hate you. They hate me.
Yeah.
They hate him.
Yeah.
They hate him.
What don't they get about what these people are going to do if they try to remove Trump? If this thing continues on day in and day out, by the way, they're doing the 25th Amendment thing. They're coming in with 3 congressional committees. Yeah. They've got Mueller. They got state attorney generals coming at him. They've got everything coming at this guy. What don't they understand about the hobbits, the deplorables, the forgotten man that listen to these radio shows?
Listen, I am a proud deplorable. I text often to my deplorable friends. That's why I really appreciated your quote in the New York Times magazine.
You're the voice of it.
Listen, I'm one voice. You know what we all are, Steve? That's why, when you and I got in an argument recently about tax rates, I was like, this is stupid. Because
I wanted to raise Hannity the multi-billionaire's rates, and
it's already gone up. Don't worry. But we've got to put this in perspective. I believe in God and humility. We're all spokes in a wheel. Donald Trump's the center of the wheel right now. We're all a spoke on the outside. You'd start pulling out those spokes, and that wheel's not going to turn. Every single person that voted for this president, every single person that advocated for him, every single American that fights for him, we now need more intensity to get the agenda done. All I care about are the agenda items. And you know what? Then I want to retire. And then I want to go live Pat Caddell's life.
Well, I don't.
Also, I think what one of the advantages for President Trump is right now we see the GDP growing at 3.3%, unemployment 4.1%. If this tax cut goes through, which I think it will, the economy is going to boom. It's going to be very hard to try to pull out of the White House a president who's presiding over a thriving
I don't think they
economy.
By the way, I think D. Roy, one of the smartest guys in the country. On this one, I disagree. I don't think they care about much economic growth it is. I don't think they care about how good the country's doing. I think they're coming after Trump because they understand they have to destroy Trump, because to destroy Trump is not to destroy Trump, is to destroy this movement. They want to take that voice away from the forgotten man.
This is not about General Flynn. This isn't about Paul Manafort. They're just pawns in a...
Amen.
And, the ultimate goal... Andy McCarthy had a great piece. This is about the impeachment of the president.
Yes.
This is not about Trump-Russia collusion.
This is about a slow-motion, steady effort to basically have a coup d'etat. Now, let's get it done. Okay. That fight has got to be, because they will do, as you said about Levine, post-constitutional society.
It's a banana republic.
They're willing to destroy this country to keep control. And to keep the people out.
Okay,
by the way, people like us may end up in jail. Let me tell you, they will stop at nothing. This is what I'm trying to get across to people. This is serious. This is the rule of law in this country now.
Amen. Major test. Before we jump, I know you got to go, but I want to say one thing. Your opening monologue every night is the best way to stay in touch with the Trump movement. I know you did it. We talked about it. The campaign was ending. We were trying to do something. You said, hey, I'm going to go up and give the closing argument. Because we were going around the country. We couldn't do it.
25 minutes.
25 minutes. It was epic. And I said, dude, you got to do that every night.
By the way, is that story true? You were the only one in that meeting post-Access Hollywood that said you're going to win?
100%. Metaphysical certainty. Because they don't. You know why? You know why? Because they only care about their country. That other stuff was not. They care about saving their country. The same thing we see today is what they care.
Key. The American people that he attracted want to save their country.
Can I paint a picture?
By the way, Caddell's eating me out of house and home.
I'm not.
Okay.
That's not mine. That's mine.
We got to jump. Right, I want to thank, by the way, thank you. One of Sirius XM's greatest.
We got to save the country. That's our goal. Everybody listening, engage. Save the country.
What a lineup in the evening. You got Sean Hannity, Mark Levin, the great one, and then now Breitbart News tonight.
You guys are now on at 9?
Tonight's the first show. We're now taking the nighttime show.
So you're doing 9 to what?
9 to midnight.
Who's going to host? You're not doing every night 9 to midnight.
Why not? Why wouldn't? No, our West Coast team's going to do it. I kind of float in and out.
I see. Where's Raheem? I thought I saw Raheem.
Raheem's here. He's doing it.
There he is. I didn't recognize. He filled that on my radio show.
He's fantastic.
And the ratings are so high. I never brought
exactly.
It back.
That's what I'm saying. When I heard that, I said the key is always bring a host that's not that good. Raheem was perfect.
No. He was great.
Sean Hannity, thanks for coming on our first show.
Thank you.
You're fantastic.
I want to thank. Love you, man.
I want to thank Pat Caddell. Pat Caddell doesn't hang with us. D-Roy, thank you very much. By the way, the site is Keep Calm and Cut Taxes. They can go there by just
keep calm and cuttaxes.com. We have all sorts of supplies for tax fighters. Keep calm and cut taxes.
DeRoy Murdoch, we're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to come back with your calls in a moment.